Hey Max Impactors, in my last video I told you that soil blocks were the bomb. So I'm going to show you how to make some soil blocks today. I'm down in my basement where I have a table set up to do these soil blocks, and you're just going to need a few things. First off, let's go over to soil. I've seen online a lot of people give you a lot of different things for making your own soil. I found that just using regular potting mix works. Now, do not use seed starting soil. I did experiment with that, and I found that the blocks tend to fall apart because the soil is a little too loose, I guess, because of the vermiculite. Also, I tried some moisture control potting soil, and that had little chunks in it of wood chips and things like that. And although they make good blocks, I found that just the regular potting mix, that's pretty fine. This one here is just your Miracle-Gro. I've also used, I think it's called Fox Farm. But I have it in a little container like this, and you'll see it's a lot easier to do this with a little container. The thing I love about soil blocks is you can put them on anything. So these are just like little cookie trays, and I'm going to put the blocks on there, and then I can use a little either plastic sheet, or I have plastic covers that you would use for a regular sheet, and I'm going to put that over top of it. Also, you're going to need some water, so I just get a bucket of water like this, and what you're going to do is you're going to wet down the soil. You want the soil to be fairly wet. And the reason why is because you want it to stick together. Alright, so I'm just mixing it up. And you want the soil to be wet enough that when you grab it and squeeze it, water kind of wrings out of it. And once you get it nice and wet like that, what you're going to find is as you make it and you squish it down, you're actually going to be wringing out soil. So the soil will start to get more wet as you continue to make blocks, which means that you're going to probably have to also add a little bit more soil, especially if you're doing a lot. So I'm just going to take my block maker. Okay, this is the 2-inch. They call this the Mini. And this is probably the best starter block. They have ones that are smaller, and they have ones that are bigger. I think that this one's probably the best size. Now you can get in there a few different ways. I just go like this, kind of angle and rock it back and forth, and then you'll get it in there, and you can scrape it off. You can also just come in here, and I'll show you the other way, but you can use your fingers and push it in. Now I find that doing it with the fingers and pushing it in makes a better block because you really get them tight, but it does take longer. But one of the advantages of being a home grower is that if you do take a little bit more time, hey, it doesn't matter. If I was in a commercial facility, then I would probably need to do this a lot quicker, and that would mean that I might sacrifice some of the quality of the blocks for speed. But at home, you don't have to do that. Now when I do this, okay, you want to scrape it so it's flat on the bottom. You can either do that on the side here, like this, right up, or you could just do it with your hand. Then you line them up, and what you're going to do is I just pull up the lever, and it pops them out. And I'll show you in a second, there's a little divot on the top here that is great because that's where you're going to put your seed at. So I'm just going to continue to make these blocks. Today what I'm planning actually corn, because I have this year I'm experimenting with a Three Sisters garden, and I'm going to get the corn started inside so that I can get to putting the beans in the ground with the corn a little quicker, kind of give myself a little jump start. Now I got my blocks done, and we're going to do, this is popcorn, and all you have is these little divots in here. You can throw the popcorn in there, If you're doing smaller seeds, a lot of times I throw two seeds at least in each little indent. That way, if for some reason it does not, one of them doesn't germinate, you have two, you can always just snip off the extras. Alright, so now what you do from here is I can just take this and pinch it a little at the top, and it covers the kernel. Now you have to be careful with these blocks until they get some roots growing in them. You're going to want to just miss the top, and then once they sprout and you want to give them some more water, I leave a little bit of room in the tray here, and I always give it water from the bottom so that it wicks it up, so I don't have to worry about the blocks breaking down on me. To finish the blocks up, I just use a little misting bottle, try to get the top of it nice and moist. For the most part, these blocks have enough moisture actually to usually get them to germinate, but I like to take them and get them nice and wet. Now that I misted them, I just cover them. You can use either plastic wrap or a cover like this, and I'll just put it in a warm spot and wait till them to germinate, and then I'll put them under my grow lights. Alright guys, well I hope you loved this video on how to make soil blocks. It makes my gardening that much more efficient, and if you want you can comment below. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and like this video, and we'll see you in the next video.